the night Shakur Stevenson beat up his girlfriend's brother. Now, if you don't know about this story, it's actually a pretty interesting one, and one that many people don't actually know too much about. Well, in this video, we're going to break down that story, discuss the background behind it, and what actually happened on the night. So let's rewind back in time to see where this all started. And it all started with a young girl named Jahira Gonzalez, and she was a young prodigy coming from a boxing family, with her and her brother Joette being superstars in the boxing family, with Jahira winning an international boxing title at the age of 13 and Joette already being a superstar amateur. They were dubbed for big things in the boxing world. And of course, her older brother Joette was a known amateur and had traveled around different tournaments, and as you guys may know, being an amateur in the sport, many of the top stars tend to know each other and bump heads in tournaments. And Joette Gonzalez says he was familiar with Shakur Stevenson from the amateur system and didn't like him. For what reason, we have no idea.
I never liked him as an amateur. I just thought he was loud, obnoxious, disrespectful.
He said he was loud and obnoxious, but we have no idea why he actually didn't like him. Regardless though, this had no impact on Joette's life because Shakur wasn't around. However, when it came to the 2016 Olympics, this is where it all changed. As you may or may not know, Jahira suffered her first major defeat in the trials for the Rio 2016 Olympics. And of course, she was devastated by this. Being a huge prospect and not making the Olympics was huge for her, but what she did find in return was Shakur Stevenson. Now, Shakur was already competing in the 2016 Olympics, going on to win a silver medal. This is where Jahira and Shakur start to bond. Obviously, they knew each other from previous amateur experience. However, they got really close during this time in Rio, and Jahira would vent to Shakur about how she was feeling because of her loss. Not long after, these guys immediately clicked and started dating. Shakur Stevenson finished his amateur career and went into his professional debut dating Jahira Gonzalez, and she was there with him the whole entire way. In fact, so much so that she moved to Colorado to train with the Army boxing team, and that was the place that Shakur Stevenson was training. When this was news to the Gonzalez family, they weren't happy to say the least. And we still to this day have no idea why they never accepted Shakur. Honestly, this could be a race thing, as traditionally in a lot of races, they like to keep their kids within the same race and not marry outside their culture. So when they saw their daughter and sister with Shakur Stevenson, a young black man, that probably didn't go very well. So when Jahira moved to stay with Shakur, they actually disowned her from the family, which is terrible, but it just added fuel to the fire. Now, Shakur was aware that his girlfriend's family did not like him or accept him. So what he did is he offered Joette to a sparring session in attempts to try and gain his respect from the family. And that's exactly what he did. He went to their gym and sparred Joette. Now, we never really know what happened in the sparring session. However, all we have is Joette's father's word on it, saying that Joette punished Shakur.
On the sparring, I see Joette was humiliated. He was punished. Yeah, humiliated.
However, sparring rumors are sparring rumors, and we can't necessarily take his word for this. Considering Joette said himself he didn't go all out on Shakur, in my opinion, it was most likely a normal sparring session and nothing crazy happened. But even after Shakur's attempt to try and get his respect from the family, it didn't work. They still continued to dislike him, and there was still heavy tension between Shakur Stevenson and his girlfriend's family. And this was because the Gonzalez family felt that their daughter had betrayed them. And I don't know why, but nevertheless, she continued to date Shakur. However, Jahira did try and keep contact with her family, apparently messaging her father every single day, telling her that she misses him and she loves him. However, she didn't get a response back from him, clearly insinuating that her father had disowned her and didn't want anything to do with her because of her going with Shakur Stevenson, which is very, very petty, but I guess that's what they decided to do. The whole family had some kind of hurt towards it, so much so that when Joette also turned professional after a big win, and both Shakur Stevenson and Joette Gonzalez were considered very good prospects, Joette decided to call out Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur Stevenson, running his mouth too much, but I'm a grown-ass man. I don't fight on social media. Face to face, come on, do something.
Clearly wanting to beat Shakur Stevenson up. Now, Joette wasn't happy with his relationship with his sister and Shakur Stevenson, stating that he doesn't think Shakur really loves her and that Shakur doesn't respect her. Shakur said that's complete BS. I don't know where he's got that from. So they signed the fight and made it happen. And funnily enough, this was for a vacant world title. Basically, it was two undefeated prospects going at it head to head for the opportunity to become a world champion. So this was a huge fight for both of them, and definitely the biggest fight of their careers to date. Now, when it came to the press conference conferences, it was nothing but tension. Shakur saying this was personal, and Joette saying that he has no respect and that he's going to humble him. Now let's fast forward to fight night. Right off the bat, we could tell Joette was in there to try and finish Shakur Stevenson, coming out aggressive, and I know that's his boxing style, but he came in there to do some damage to Shakur Stevenson, constantly trying to close the distance right from the get-go, trying to cut corners and trying to get on the inside of Shakur Stevenson. However, we all know Shakur, a super smart fighter, high IQ, and a master of distance and range. So he wasn't able to get on the inside of Shakur Stevenson. He was able to keep that range nice, be able to jab and outbox Joette all night long. And according to the punching stats, Joette was only able to land 4 punches along 12 rounds, which is ridiculous. And it's crazy to think that Joette came in there to humble Shakur Stevenson and got himself humbled. He was humiliated out for 12 rounds, winning every single round on the scorecard and defeating Joette Gonzalez, aka Jahaira Gonzalez's older brother. Now what's funny is, when he beat Joette Gonzalez, the respect still wasn't there. Shakur did go over to Joette to try and make his peace, but Joette clearly didn't want any of it.
What did you tell him when you went over there?
I told him that he a hell of a fighter. He ain't really want to talk to me, but it is what it is. I ain't tripping.
In the post-fight interview, Shakur said that Joette and his father need to call their sister and daughter, need to call Jahaira basically.
But can y'all please talk to your daughter? That's all I got to say. Please talk to your daughter and your sister. That's it.
I'm not gonna lie, if you didn't peep Terence Crawford's reaction, that was hilarious.
He ain't really want to talk to me, but it is what it is. I ain't tripping.
Where do you go from here?
I want Joshua.
So yeah, Shakur Stevenson had now beat Joette Gonzalez to win his first world title at only 22 years old. And let me guess, it was happily ever after between the families and everything was all good. Hell no. If you check Joette Gonzalez's post-fight interview, he said that he still doesn't respect Shakur Stevenson. How can he respect him when the whole time Shakur Stevenson's been disrespecting his family? I don't know how he's been disrespecting his family, I'm not gonna lie. And basically to sum it up, he doesn't want to be friends with Shakur, and still amends haven't been made.
I don't know how he could say that he has no hard feelings, no disrespect, but the whole time he was disrespecting my family. So it doesn't go away just like that. Only time will tell, and he has to show us respect.
But that was the night that Shakur Stevenson beat up Joette Gonzalez and beat up his girlfriend's older brother, which is kind of crazy to think about, low-key. I think a lot of people don't know about this story, but I think it's a really, really good one, and definitely a gangster move from Shakur, to be honest with you. Imagine you're dating a girl and her older brother's got a problem with you. You're both boxers, so you say, let's settle in the ring, and you whoop him harder than he's ever been whooped before. I don't think he's going to disrespect Shakur again, but I don't think it matters anymore, because I'm pretty sure they're not dating anymore. But anyway, let us know what you think about that one in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. Anyways, that'll be all. I'll catch you in the next one.